Welcome to the Calculus 3 AI and CAS component. Today will be the second lecture of the series, focusing on using AI and computer algebra systems together, and an introduction to prompt engineering. The goal of this lecture is to demonstrate how a combination of Copilot and Wolfram Alpha can be used to help us solve math problems. In this lecture, you will learn how to combine Wolfram Alpha and Copilot for strategic problem solving, how to improve Copilot responses through prompt engineering, how to apply prompt engineering in a mathematical context. We will run through an example problem and see what Copilot and Wolfram Alpha might be useful for in this problem, and determine what kind of prompts we can ask Copilot and how to make sure those prompts give us exactly what we want. Our example problem is this double integration problem. We are integrating 6x minus y from x equals negative square root of y to y squared and y equals 0 to 1. We've learned how to do single variable integration problems in Calculus 1 and 2, as well as various applications of integration earlier this semester. But now we have to tackle a multivariable integration problem. Based on our prior knowledge, we may have an idea of how to start, but if we're stuck, we can use the tools that we have to help us get started. Now, we could just type this integral into Wolfram Alpha and get a solution. However, this won't help us understand how to actually calculate the integral, and that's what we want to know. Let's start with Wolfram Alpha, however, to get an idea of the function we are working with. First, we can plot the function. Plotting the function can give us key insights into the behavior of a function. For example, are there any singularities or discontinuities we need to be aware of when integrating? And next, we can plot the regions of the limits. This can help us visualize the bounds of integration and can help us determine the correct new bounds if we need to change the order of integration. Based on the plot, our function is nice and continuous with no odd behaviors to account for, and we have a good visualization of our bounds of integration. Now we can move on to Copilot. We can begin by prompting Copilot in a way that connects what we want to accomplish with the concepts we already understand. We might ask for a comparison between integrating a multivariable function and the single variable case we're familiar with. So we can ask, how is solving a multivariable integration problem similar and different than a single variable integration problem? So the breakdown that Copilot gives us for the similarities, the fundamental concept is basically the same. It's representing the area under a curve. In this case, it corresponds to a surface in higher dimensions for multivariable. Techniques like substitution and integration by parts can be applied in both a single and multivariable cases, and both definite and indefinite integrals can be found. The differences, however, the main difference is the number of variables. Multivariable integration involves functions of two or more variables versus one variable in the single variable integration. The integration domain is different because now the domain of integration can be a plane or a volume depending on the multivariable integration problem. The order of integration is also a difference. So if multivariable integration requires integrating with respect to multiple variables, but you can do that one at a time and you can change the order depending on the limits and the region of integration. And of course, multivariable integration has many different techniques and tools that are only applicable to multivariable problems. Great, so all of this makes sense as a relatively straightforward extension of the single variable integration problems with a couple key differences to keep in mind. Now we can try to solve the problem. Even after the response about the similarities and differences between multivariable integration and single variable integration, we still might be stuck on how to actually solve the problem. As we learned in the last lecture, Wolfram Alpha isn't great at providing steps and doesn't provide any explanations, but Copilot is good at providing steps and explanations. We want to then ask Copilot for help solving the problem, but we don't want the solution because we want to solve it ourselves. So we want to make sure that we put that in the prompt. So a prompt that we can use is, how do you integrate 6x minus y from x equals negative square root of y to y squared and y equals 0 to 1? Don't give me the solution, just give me the steps. So in Copilot's response, the steps that they give us is 1, set up the double integral with the region bounded. 2, integrate with respect to x. In this case, they say treating y as a constant. Step 3, simplify the expression. Step 4, integrate with respect to y. And step 5, evaluate the final integral. So based on this, we have a pretty decent idea based on the steps of how to solve the problem. So now we can try to solve the problem on our own with the help of these steps. If you want to, you can pause the video now and work through the problem on your own. On the next slide, we will go through the steps and the solution. So working through the problem, using the steps and suggestions from Copilot, here is a solution to the integral problem. So we set up the double integral as it is given to us. We integrate with respect to x. Then we simplify the expression, and that gives us a function with respect to just the variable y. Now we integrate with respect to y, we apply the bounds, and we evaluate the final integral. So based on the steps that we worked through, our final integral results in a value of negative 31 over 20. So now we have a potential solution. But how do we know if we have the correct solution? How do we know if we did our steps correctly? That we can use Wolfram Alpha to check. So Wolfram Alpha can easily calculate this integral. Again, however, if we used this from the start, we wouldn't have gained any insight into the process or improved our understanding of the steps. So in Wolfram Alpha, we integrate the function based on the bounds that they give us. And the solution that it provides is negative 31 over 20. So our solution matches with Wolfram Alpha's. That's great. We understood the steps and we applied those and calculated the integral correctly. Moving on to prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is the process of designing and refining inputs to generate a desired output. In order to get the output that you want, you need to make sure that your input is asking exactly what it needs to. Large language model responses can vary greatly depending on how the input is worded. For example, in our integration problem earlier, we needed to specify in our prompt for Copilot to not give us the solution, or else it would have by default. So when you are doing prompt engineering, you want to make sure that you provide context. So provide instructions, examples, and any other context to help the model understand your intent. Make sure to be specific. So be detailed about the desired outcome, length, format, and style of what you want your outcome to look like. For example, if you want your outcome to be in bullet points, you need to specify that. And of course, use trial and error. Try different approaches and different wordings to find the best way to get the desired output. Now, what if we weren't completely happy with the response that we originally got? How can we change that? So for example, we wanted steps, but maybe we didn't get the level of detail or explanation that we wanted. So we can try to fix that. So we can reword our prompt. How do you integrate the function? Don't give me the solution, but for each step, explain why we do each step. So this is the outcome based on this adjusted prompt. So as you can see, the result is a little more detailed. It still provides several steps. However, notice that it provides more steps than we originally got. Again, based on a new chat, which is what we did here, we may get a similar but possibly a different response. But still, the steps are basically the same, and we have a little more detail and a little more explanation as to why we do each step. So for example, if we want to understand the region of integration, it allows us to understand what region we are integrating over. And for example, if we want to integrate with respect to y, this involves finding the antiderivative of the simplified function. So This explanation as to why we do each step may be enough for you to understand it a little bit better if that is what you are going for. If not, you can try rewording it again. Again, maybe we weren't happy with the result of our solution. Maybe our solution didn't match Wolfram Alpha's and we want to know why. We can then ask Copilot to walk us through the steps and let it solve the problem to see if we can figure out which step we went wrong. So we can remove the part of the prompt that said not to give the solution. Again, keep in mind that Copilot is good with steps and explanations, but its calculations may not be correct. But hopefully this will be a better idea of how the steps are meant to be implemented. So it walks through the steps, and then it does the calculations, the integrations, and the evaluations that we were also doing. Now notice that the result is not the same as Wolfram Alpha's. So again, Copilot is not good at calculations, but it is good at explanations. So hopefully this explanation breakdown will be adequate to help you work through your problem and figure out where you went wrong. But again, do not trust the calculations. Additional prompts you could ask to help you solve this problem is to potentially ask about different integration techniques that are available for you to use. So the prompt we could ask is, what are the different integration techniques that are used in both single and multivariable integration? So Copilot's response for single variable integration techniques, we have substitution, integrate by parts, partial fractions, trig substitution, and improper integrals. All of those you should be familiar with. For multivariable integration techniques, we have double and triple integrals, change of variables, and then 4 different theorems: Fubini's, Green's, Stokes, and the divergence theorem. You only have worked through double integration and changing the order of integration now. But later on in the semester, you will encounter triple integrals and these different theorems that allow you to work more easily with different types of integrals in higher dimensions or over different regions. Another thing we may want to know is, what are common pitfalls with multivariable integration problems so that we can try to avoid those as we're working through our problems. So a prompt for that could be, what are some common mistakes that students make when solving double integration problems? So Copilot's response for these: 1, incorrect order of integration, students potentially mixing up the order of integration. 2, misinterpreting limits of integration. 3, forgetting to include the differential. 4, incorrectly setting up the integral. 5, ignoring symmetry. 6, errors in basic integration. 7, not checking units or dimensions. And 8, overlooking boundary conditions. So those are types of common pitfalls that you may want to consider. And if you're working through a problem, you can go back and look through and make sure that you did not accidentally forget to include something or misinterpret something. So in summary, Wolfram Alpha is great because it is a good visual tool, it provides accurate solutions, and it's good for verifying answers. However, it is not always good for explanations. Copilot and other large language models are sometimes wrong, especially when it comes to calculations. They are also heavily dependent on input, and they need prompt engineering to get desired results. They are good for explanation, but they're not good for verifying answers. That concludes our second lecture on AI and CAS. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you in the third and final lecture.